What's up creatives, Chris here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're talking about a piece of camera gear that I didn't really expect to be making a video about, mainly because I didn't expect it to be this good. Today we're talking about the DJI Action 2. Now this little tool right here may be the most intricate, high-tech little camera I've ever tested, and that's what we're going to be talking about. This isn't going to be a really technical video talking about every single feature in the camera. I'm going to talk about the main points that I found to be super useful and super helpful to me, and then the things I don't really like. So let's just start with actually my favorite feature and the main reason I got it. And it's not really the camera itself, but it's one of the attachments that come with it that allow you to just get a really particular shot. And the attachment is actually on me right now. You didn't even notice, but you can do this. Isn't that, I don't know if you can see it, that looks kind of weird. And basically what this is a magnetic lanyard that you can attach under your shirt, which allows you to get really awesome POV shots without having to hold anything. Now, as a photographer, you want to shoot a lot of POV photography just so you can show what your point of view is as you're creating your content. And more often than not, I find myself like holding my phone with the ultra wide angle, kind of like this as I try to shoot with the main camera. And it's just kind of a tedious process because I'm really focusing on keeping this in frame as well as taking the pictures as well. And it's just not a really intuitive process. But now all I need to do is get this little camera up, stick it right here, and I have an amazing POV angle, and I don't have to worry about this camera. You know, I can just shoot as I normally do, and I don't have to think about whether everything's perfectly in frame, because it is. That's the main first feature. The second feature I really like about it is the image quality. It shoots 4K up to 120 frames per second, and what I found is the 120 frames per second is just as high quality as the 24, 25, 30 frames per second video. So it does 24, 25, 30, 60, 50, 60, depending if you're NTSC or PAL, and then 120 frames per second. So it has all the useful frame rates, and for me, my favorite frame rate is 120 frames per second. If you didn't know that already, I've kind of committed myself to the 120 frames per second gang. So yeah, really high quality video, which is great because as of right now, it doesn't have a designated vertical shooting mode. But if you shoot with the wide option in 4:3 aspect ratio, you can crop out a vertical 9:16 aspect ratio for any vertical content, and it looks really crisp. It doesn't look like the typical low-end action camera. Obviously, it's not as high quality as this camera or any DSLR, but it still just looks really good. I did have the GoPro Hero 9 before that, and I also saw a video with the GoPro Hero 10, but I do find that the low light quality of this camera is really great. I was making a video inside my gym for a day in the life video, and I was expecting it to be quite noisy, especially shooting at 4K. But no, footage looked freaking amazing, and it color graded really easily, and I was honestly shocked because usually with action cameras, once you get into low light situations, especially with GoPros, the quality goes down a lot, and it's really just mushy footage that you don't want to use. Next feature I really like is actually the whole magnetic system. Now when you get it, it does come with a couple accessories like this lanyard and then something that connects it to a GoPro mount. But the main accessory it comes with is this little DJI battery pack / charging port, because it charges via USB-C, as well as micro SD card port in case you want to extend the storage, which is something I actually have never done. And it's as simple as getting them kind of close to each other and they magnetize together. And now it actually has a button on here so you can control the camera from this extra button here, because all you need with this camera is one button. Now this will obviously extend your battery life a lot because you can use the camera without it, but the battery life isn't great. I'd say a little bit less than an hour, depends how much you shoot. I never really shot a long continuous sequence. I turned it on and off throughout a day, and it actually was perfectly fine. But I would assume I've kept it on throughout the day for about an hour to 45 minutes, and then this will just extend your battery life extra time. I'll put how much longer here because I actually never exhausted the camera. As well as as I mentioned, if you want to extend the internal storage, inside here is 32 gigabytes, which gave me more than enough time for shooting. I think it was like 30-40 minutes of 4K. And then if you want to extend the storage, you can put like 128 or 256 card in here and pretty much shoot all day. But I actually kind of like not needing this extra piece, especially when connecting it here, or if I was just holding it. I like the fact that it's just really tiny and I didn't have to have like, you know, this extra piece attached. The next feature I really like is actually the boot up time. It is extremely fast. And this is actually a part of the whole UI and the technology in this. It's just really fast. It doesn't feel like a slow device. When I had the GoPro Hero 9 or whatever it was really buggy, and turning it on took a bit and a lot of press and hold. But for the Action 2, it's as simple as just pressing the one button on the camera boots up really quickly and you're ready to film. Then you just tap it again and you can just start shooting, and I just love how fast it is, because as an action camera, especially when I have it connected right here and I'm walking around looking for things to take a picture of, I don't want to have to press and hold and then question whether it's on or off. I just tap it once, you feel a little haptic vibration, which by the way is really useful, and then you can just press it again, makes a little beep, starts recording, and you know it's just gonna look good. And yes, what I do love the fact that the touchscreen is very intuitive, it is very smooth. This doesn't feel like the GoPro Hero 9 I had, which was, I don't know, it's just really buggy. I just expected them to have better software by now. This has never bugged out on me, and it's just very responsive, and it's just a beautiful, I think it's a little bit less than a 1-inch display on the back. Now, another thing I really like is just the general size and weight. It is tiny. According to DJI, I think it weighs as much as an egg. And yeah, I guess. It's just really small, lightweight, and you just don't notice it in your camera bag or anything else. It's just, I just keep it in my pocket, honestly. But now let's talk about the things I don't really like about it, the things I thought that were just kind of annoying a little bit. Now, the first thing is the screen, and what I mean by the screen is just how exposed and fragile I feel like it is. The whole body itself is a tank. Like you can tell, this is probably one of the best made action cameras out there. It's a solid, probably aluminum, and it just feels really sturdy. But the screen is just this exposed glass, and action cameras tend to get beaten up a little bit, and I expect this screen to probably get scratched up a little bit, which would kind of be frustrating, but it is exposed. I definitely would consider getting a little screen protector for it. Even for the front element, I feel like that's really exposed, and it's something I would be afraid of getting scratched. But besides that, build quality feels great. The next thing I kind of wish was a little different is I wish that there was a charging port on the actual camera itself. Because whenever I have to charge it, you're forced to connect it to the dongle thing here, and then it has the USB-C port right on the side right there. I just don't really like using this because it makes it bigger, and if I could charge it without it, I would definitely just do that, and I probably wouldn't take this anywhere because it's not like the battery life on the camera itself is really bad. So I wish they could have fit like a little charger or even something that could connect to the magnetic ports at the bottom that allow you to magnetically charge the camera. So that's, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Honestly, I really have very few complaints with this little camera. I highly recommend it if you want to get like a POV angle, or if you just need an action camera, because this piece alone is already waterproof. I know that if you connect this part, then you lose that waterproof ability, but then you can get a case that would make it waterproof again. So this is, I think, from what I remember, this is waterproof up to 10 meters, which is, I think, more than enough. So yeah, intuitive, amazing little action camera, tiny and very versatile. If you want to pick one up, a link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Smash the like button if you want to help the video out, and I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Peace.